Everything from overlanding in your stock rig to full-on LS-powered 2 buggies on stickies. This is the Total Off-Road Podcast. I'm your host, Steve Summers.
I am so glad that you fucked it up this week because I fucked it up last week. I'm Ian Boyce. We are here. Lucky number 13.
Nailed it.
And you fucked it up. I'm glad because I butchered last week, so you're good.
I don't care. It's our podcast.
Send it.
Send it. Full send into the week.
We got a studio guest with us today, too. We should introduce him.
Well, I got Michael Wolf, as if you guys didn't know who that was. Some of you may not. You might be newer listeners.
Yep.
But Mike Wolf is joining us again, and I'm playing with the paper.
I was about to just take your paper away from you. You need to put like a piece of glass and put your paper under it so you can't touch it.
We should do that.
I don't know what a 4x5 piece of glass would cost.
Yeah.
We'd probably fuck the glass up though.
You would.
Yeah. I'm not going to. One drop and it's like, damn.
You'd set a glass down wrong and blow the glass apart.
How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing all right.
Good.
Welcome
Thanks
to
for
the
having
party.
me again,
Glad
guys.
to have you here. Yep, he's back. So he's back because we went wheeling with us yesterday.
And he brought us beer.
And he brought us beer.
Yep.
That's true.
And he's a friend, so why not have him in the studio?
Exactly.
I know if you guys been listening since the early episodes, he was here 3, 4, 5, 6. He's here for a while for every episode.
For a few, I was the producer, but they fired me.
Yeah, well,
you
you gotta
know.
produce to be here. You gotta be here to produce.
You must produce to be the producer. Yes.
You can't just sit in the corner and it's like, I brought you beer.
I didn't do
Well,
nearly enough.
hold on. You can.
Yeah.
We're just not going to call you the producer. We're going to call you
Right.
the beer guy.
Super beer guy Mike.
Still a cool title. You're the beer
I actually
guy.
like that better than producer.
Yes.
Super beer guy.
Beer
I'll
guy.
do that.
So
Did we just get our own beer Andy moment?
I think we just got a beer Andy
Mike?
moment. Yeah, beer Mike.
I was just listening to an episode the other day of Snail Trail, and they did it again.
Yep.
It was
Beer Andy?
episode 70.
I love it.
Yeah. And he said something about Beer Andy. I was like, hey, there he is.
We know who that is.
Right.
Awesome. So yeah, like we said, went wheeling yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
You want me to ask you how that went?
No.
Okay. Mike, how was your wheeling trip yesterday?
You know, funny enough, since I was actually wheeling with a group that was just, it was the same group, but you guys took off a little sooner than we did.
Mhm.
And actually, our wheeling trip was awesome. I was
Wow, that sucks. Should have stayed.
jumping back and forth
Yep.
between a bunch of really capable rigs, and we just wheeled and pretty much nothing to speak for. I mean, we did no breakages. Everybody did pretty
Awesome.
good. We just climbed some stuff.
Wait. You rode over there for free.
That's true.
You paid $10 to get the gate.
Yeah, you got that right.
And then you rode around with a bunch of capable guys.
I did that.
You ate your sandwich you packed.
Yeah, my entire day cost me $10.
Oh, my God. Fuck it up.
I got home and I looked at my wallet.
Hold
I was
on.
like, oh.
My whole day cost me $10 to get in,
Wait.
a tank of fuel to deliver you to, and that was about it.
He
I
brought you
packed
beer?
my own sandwich.
I did bring you beer.
Bring my beer.
My day cost me $10 before you guys even showed up to the house.
It was fine. We're fine with that, right? Are you fine with that?
I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Okay. It seems
I'm
to be a good
fucking up.
arrangement. Are
I'm
you
gonna
mad?
Sell the Jeep and I'm gonna go ride around with groups of guys.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
dude.
it was amazing.
Yeah.
Groups
So-
of really, quote unquote, really capable rigs.
You
Dude.
didn't take your rig.
I didn't take my rig.
Let's
I
make
jumped.
that clear.
I
So,
jumped in with.
yeah.
Snow day stayed at home.
Yep.
I jumped in with Bray. Amazing little Ranger, super capable. He's been doing it for over a decade.
Yep.
You guys know the rig. You love it.
Yep.
Joe Zumpf, who you guys just met,
I had in person.
But I
in
wheeled with-
person. Yeah.
Been talking to him
Yep.
for months
Yep.
on the wheeling chat.
but I've wheeled with him before, and it's a Land Cruiser, the Wine and Cream Land Cruiser.
Oh,
if you
Yeah, we're dubbing that name. He's like, why don't we call it that?
Wine and Cream, it's
we
super
are now.
It's super
I don't
classy.
know that, yeah.
It's on 40s and with like almost no lift. It's super capable. And
I have a picture of his tailgate that I will post.
oh yeah,
Because I
Several.
figured you would
I
name
have.
the tailgate.
Do you want
storage.
me to? Do you want me to do that on the podcast page?
That's fine.
I have a complete like walk around photos of it.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
Tailgate
we'll
with it
highlight
open
that
and
ring.
shut.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's legit as shit.
Oh, it's
yeah.
it's a
dumb.
It's
It is
badass.
literally a Rocklander.
yes,
It is
perfect
everything
description.
that I would want in a
the
Rocklander.
wine and cream
The
Rocklander.
wine and cream Rocklander.
It's so luxurious.
It's
I was looking
wonderful.
at the interior because that's one thing that really blows my mind about people that build rigs like that.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to carry so much stuff. Like he was naming off all the crap that he's carrying.
Oh, dude.
It's
dumb.
ridiculous. So you know what the last thing they normally think about is
Hmm.
how comfortable the interior room is and
Mhm.
you know where you lay stuff out in the front.
Right.
Minty.
I didn't even look in his front seat.
Front seats were beautiful. He had that thing. I think there were Corbeau seats in them, but I mean,
I didn't even
center
notice.
console.
I just assumed it had stock seats.
All that
Nope, Corbos.
super nicely done. And then he said he could add a third seat. I think he said he was working on adding a third seat.
He's got
for
the third
passenger.
seat. He just hasn't put in yet. He's got his Dometic in the back, in the passenger compartment there in the back.
Yep.
And then he has that whole layout in the
Shelving, movable
shelving,
spare
tires in the hatch.
He
like,
said
inside the
a
hatch.
spare third member fits inside the spare tire.
Like he has a 40
Yeah.
laying in the back, and you don't even know it's there until he's like, "Oh yeah, I need my spare."
Yep.
Yep.
He's got his spare tie rods, all that stuff.
It was wonderful.
I got nothing.
It was absolutely amazing. He's like, "Hey, can you grab me? There's a can of WD-40 on the right side, or no, on the left side of the hatch or the tailgate. Open it up, move the gloves. There's a can of WD-40, and I go back there, open it up, left side, take 2 pairs of leathers, move them aside, can of WD-40, like perfectly packaged. I'm like, everything fits perfect. It's like a fucking puzzle.
It's like Tetris.
Yes.
But by the way, I bounced this up at Rock Face.
Tetris is done.
Yeah.
Like you've maxed out the thing.
It's a pretty awesome rig.
Yep.
Those
Anyway.
things come with one cup holder.
Yeah.
He has 2 3D printed cup holders made for a Land Cruiser in that thing so that everyone has a place to put their drink. It's ridiculous.
Jesus.
Awesome guy
telling you,
too.
yeah.
Like I can't stand when people like that are real like standoffish or something. I'm like, dude,
no.
I want to touch everything on your truck right now.
Yep.
And he's like, go for it.
Go for it. Yeah. There's your other finger fucking his truck.
Super nice guy.
Right.
Yeah.
We and by super nice guy, this is how super nice he is. He and I are just sitting there just BS and talking, and this kid in a 1-ton XJ comes buzzing around, and he makes this turn to kind of go in front of us, and we're sitting out of the quarry where it's just flat sand, and he goes to turn and breaks the weld on his bung for his tie rod, or for his drag link, the drag link from the steering box down to the knuckle.
Other than the fact that I feel like that's something that shouldn't fail.
Well, it
Continue.
did. Yeah,
Wow.
a little nervous, like a little nervous. But
Yes. What else did you weld
like
with that welder?
Clean
Wow.
break. Yeah, clean break is wild. So anyway, we put it back together. Me and his passenger and I, we put that back together, and the guy's like, "If only I had like a welder, I could like weld it back together. I don't know what I'm gonna do." And Joe's like, "Well, I got one." And so he's like, "Well, I just need 2 batteries." So I pulled Loki around and parked next to him, and we hooked up both batteries and everything. And Joe gets down there and just burns in a line, like burns in a new welder.
I wondered what you were doing with jumper cables
Yep.
and all this crap. And I'm like, maybe his shit doesn't start or
He had
whatever.
one of those,
I'll be damn.
what's it called?
I don't know. But I
It's
know what
the-
you're
it's the
talking about. I don't know
welder,
what
yeah.
it's called though, but it's
I
like
can't
a
remember the name of
DC welder
Yeah.
thing.
It's just a little spool gun
Yeah.
that you hook up. And
Wow, that's insane.
that's what he needed the WD-40 for. The spool was kind of sticking a little bit on the spindle. He's sprayed a little bit of WD-40 on it, goes back to welding. I was like, oh, that's a lot better. He's like, yeah, it was hanging up a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, power welder?
Something like that.
I didn't even know he had a welder until just now.
Yeah.
Well, you do
Oh,
now.
yeah.
I was
Of course
even
you
riding
didn't
with
know
him.
it was-
I didn't even
It was
notice.
in his Rocklander.
He had it hid
What
well.
did you think he didn't have?
I guess nothing.
Just name it. What do you want to know?
He had one of those too.
Yep. Oh, he didn't have a replacement third member for my 9-inch.
He said one would fit in his spare though.
Yeah, but he didn't have
He
it.
said he carries one on his longer
I was
trips.
gonna say, but if he had a 9-inch in the back, I bet he'd have a spare
It would
third
be a
member.
9.5 inch.
Yeah,
that.
It's a 9.5.
But yeah, it was
Wonderful.
there was a lot of people out yesterday because we went NAXJA National
We're
XJ
getting way
Association.
off the topic.
No, we haven't got way off the topic.
Back to Mike.
Oh.
So you wheel with Bray, you wheel with Joe, you wheel with
cheap wheeling.
There was a guy named Connor, and I did not catch his last name. Sorry, Connor, if you're listening. He was friends with Joe, and he had a Tacoma leaf sprung front and rear. I
That thing
can't
was
remember what
clean.
axles, but it had Max's razors, same thing that Bray had.
I
And
was like, I missed that. No, I didn't.
no, it was he got it kind of as a basket case. He put it back together. I rode with him quite a lot of the day because Bray kind of took off on me at one point. I was like, hey, can I ride? He's like, sure. And I turned around and he was gone. So I was like, hey, Connor, can I ride?
Nice.
And,
So you get to ride with him also?
I rode with him actually most of the day with Connor, and that thing is just kind of point and shoot, kind of
So-
like your second run out. It was just like, let's go up that. Okay, let's go up that. Okay. And it was just kind
Sure
of,
was nice. Sure wish third
it
outing
was
like that.
uneventful riding with those guys. Honestly, that whole group we were with, it was just kind of like, let's do that. And we
Some
did.
days
We
shit
just did.
works, man. Like
Oh,
those
yeah.
wheeling trips like that, when you could just go and
Yes.
go and go. You're not stopping. You're not standing around all day.
We
Like,
did a
you're
lot of
just
that too.
Wheeling.
So,
But we did do a lot of wheeling.
So that I don't get completely flamed on the internet. Ready Welder.
Ready welder.
And he said he bought it about 15 years ago, so I don't know if it's the one or the two. But either way, it's Ready Welder.
Interesting.
I need one. They're $4.99. Well, that's what they are here. during the mid to high
I
30s.
was just carried a welder, and then the
whole
problem
welder?
was, well, not like a full size MIG, but like
Yeah.
a 220 or like a 110
Yeah, suitcase
welder.
almost.
The one time we
Mhm.
had,
They're
the
getting
one
smaller
time I
now.
needed a welder, the guy was like, I didn't have one. I ripped that motor mount out of the Badlands
Mm-hmm.
actually, and we rolled up to this one guy. And he's like, "Got a welder?" Yeah. So he throws it in the passenger seat and then says, "Hold on." I'm like, okay. It was like a 110, like Hobart,
Mhm.
140 or whatever it was. Throws a bottle, helmet, gloves, like it's a full on like MIG with
It's
gas,
everything.
everything. I was like, God damn, dude, you need a grinder? Well, yeah, sure. If you got one, oh yeah, sure. It was awesome.
I broke. I don't remember what it was I broke on low key, but I broke something way back when. We're at the Badlands, and I limped it up. It was a track bar bolt was one of the things I broke, but in the process, it also broke the spring cup. And we get back up there, and we're like, we need a welder. And dude's like, I got a welder. Like, oh, you do? Cool. He's like, yeah, come over here to the truck. So I go over to the truck. Dude is driving his work service truck.
Yes.
It's just got a full size, like the big welders on
Big
it.
diesel
He's like,
generator
what do you want
welder.
done?
Everything.
He prints you out an invoice and goes, "Here's your bill,"
He
and
did.
you're like, "Oh, damn."
He welded up whatever it was that I broke with the bolt. He welded all that up, and then he also welded that spring cup and was like, okay, have a good day.
That's the
See you guys.
off-road people we love.
They were on dirt bikes.
Huh?
Yep.
Awesome.
He just like, he didn't have any need to use it, but he's like, oh yeah, I just drove it because that's what tows my trailer.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
like,
and then it probably has all his
awesome.
tools and stuff on it
Yeah,
too,
had
which
everything
is
on it.
handy.
Yep.
You got to love that
So
about
awesome.
off-roading, how people help each other. The very first person to bust out their winch when we watched a 4Runner rollover yesterday was Joe.
Yeah.
He just pulled right up, got the winch
That's-
out, we hooked up, and
Just seems
pulled
like
him back on his lid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or back off his lid, I should say.
Speaking of rollovers, there was a large amount of rollovers for a day at the Badlands, in my opinion,
Unbelievable.
yesterday.
Well, there's a lot of people there.
There was a that.
What do you think?
Well, that just shows that.
350 people.
I don't
total,
know.
Probably.
I would like to know from the NAXJA group because I know they have a pretty good idea of how many people they had. But there was a
yeah.
lot of other people there too. It was
It was
impressive.
dumb.
Yep.
Yep.
But yeah, it was what 4 rollovers, I think.
I only know of
a lot.
2.
There was the XJ.
Oh, there was an XJ. I didn't know about the XJ.
Maroon XJ, the 4Runner, the Comanche, and there was a buggy too.
Yeah, there was a buggy that took a flop over, but it's a buggy.
It's a buggy, so it wasn't
it
as
still
big a deal.
qualifies for you for
Yep.
the group, but it.
And I heard about a lot more stuff going on. Breakages like crazy.
We passed a guy in an XJ with a 4x4 sled.
Yep.
Leaving
I
out
saw
the
that
park.
one.
We're like, what is this?
Axle.
Somebody's dragging a square thing. Yeah, it was a guy that we passed on our way out of the park with a 4x4.
Yeah.
Just
Just
ratchet
like,
strapped to the
ratchet
leaf
strapped a
spring.
4x4 to the leaf spring under the axle. Everything else worked fine.
Yeah.
He had 4-wheel drive still. So on his own power, he just
Drove her
drug
out.
himself out.
Yep.
I wonder
awesome.
how that was down that service road.
Dun-dun, dun-dun,
Ter-
dun-dun.
Well, yeah, like all those mud
All
holes and
the
everything's going
whoops
through.
and stuff. Yeah.
That
Hey,
sounds terrible.
it's better than broke.
It's better
Broken, not mobile, I guess.
not
Yeah.
mobile.
But yeah, there was a lot of people there.
I've never seen so many rigs at the Badlands before.
That was a blast.
It was
So-
insane.
That brings us to another topic.
What?
How was your day?
I'll see you later.
There's already
My day
listeners
was
there
great.
that know how your day was,
My
so
day
they're going
was
to call
great.
you out if you don't tell us.
This is true.
It was a beautiful day. It was sunny. I mean, you got some
I
things
had-
going for you.
I had a co-pilot that was nothing but optimism the entire day.
That's
Tell
always
me
a
how
plus.
wonderful it was that
Well-
Loki was even there.
Yeah, because my shit wasn't there. I was like, dude, if my shit could be here broke, I'd be fucking happier
He'd be
than you'd
tickled to
even
death.
think.
He's like,
yeah.
hey, you know,
If me and Ian didn't learn something yesterday, the trick is you leave your rig at home
Yeah.
and you ride around with someone else.
it's amazing.
You can be so optimistic. Even if it breaks, you're like, it's okay, buddy.
You know what I learned yesterday? I was around nothing but XJs and Jeeps and Wranglers and all kinds of stuff. I rode in a couple different ones, and you know what I still don't want? A Jeep. I
Same.
want my buggy back.
Amen, brother.
Not that I'm hating on Jeeps now,
Uh-huh.
because they hauled my ass around all day.
Yep.
But the best thing for my mental state yesterday was every fucking time I go to a car show, I need a 69 Chevelle.
Yes.
You know, I go to this monster, I need a monster truck. I go to a boat race, I need a race boat, you know.
Yeah.
I'm always that guy that's like, I think I need a dirt car when you go to a dirt race. Yesterday, I was like, I don't
need
need
one of
to I don't
So
need to
much.
buy anything new. I don't need to build anything new. I learned a couple times. I talked to a guy with a buggy, is a 4-cylinder turbo little
pictures?
buggy. Yep.
Cool.
Talked to him about how he did a little brake mounting on his buggy. Learned a couple things there. other than like a couple fab tips and stuff that I learned on how to do a couple things with some tube chassis stuff, literally, I don't want to build anything else. I just want to get my shit done. And that was huge for me.
Yes.
So I was excited about that.
And watching some of those go up the hills on 43s make
Yep.
you like, yep.
Yep, that's a good choice in tire.
And
I talked to
overdrive.
one. I wish I would have talked to him more, but I didn't want to get out of the Jeep.
Lazy.
Yeah. There's a Comanche on 43 Stickies.
Aaron?
Yes, I believe. I follow him on Instagram now. So my plan this week is to get in touch with him a little bit about his suspension tuning because he was on ORIs.
Mhm.
And that brings me to the whole coilover ORI debate that I have constantly.
I'm
with
saying
people, so.
coilovers, but
That's the side I'm leaning towards, but ORI's packaging is just bolt on and tune and done. It's simpler.
And coilovers is not.
It's not. I mean, it's a little more tuning on shock ratios and
If you say so.
pressures
I
and
don't know.
stuff.
Yeah.
Not that
I don't know
either
how that
one's a
works.
problem, but ORIs, you just adjust your ride height and kind of send it.
Yeah. I don't own one of each or one of either.
Yep.
So I can't speak to it.
I
But
like
if you guys
to talk
can,
to people in
get
the
hold
real
of us.
world about it.
Yes.
Because the more you know, the more dangerous I'm going to be.
Start sending messages out like, what do you do?
So,
What do you recommend? Yeah, because some people run both of them and they have an opinion on that. So it'd be good to get that.
and there's so many variables on it.
Oh,
whether
yeah.
your
What are you
weight,
doing?
how your suspensions. You could have two rigs that weigh 2,000 pounds different, and
Mhm.
one's going to work better. So, what do you do?
I agree.
So, how was your day?
Well, it was not terribly awesome to begin with. First thing was I got 3.5 hours of sleep.
Yep.
Then the battery was dead and low key because I left
Yep.
the key on the night before. Then I put it on the trailer and you strapped it down while I
Yep.
went and took a shower because I got done polishing and didn't turn the E-fans on. So that was always good.
Yep. Me and Mike did not realize that the E-fans were not on.
Standing right next
Couldn't
to it
figure out why
outside.
you were coming out of the house so fast either.
He was screaming something. We were like, "What's going on?"
Like, bro, calm down. Yeah, we're here. We're not mad at you.
Why are you so upset?
Yeah,
the
like-
fans aren't on. The fans aren't on. So I've been running for like 20 minutes with no fans.
Yeah.
It was
The steam was rolling the opposite direction of us in our
yeah,
defense.
In your defense,
And it wasn't pissing cooling out
It was not
at the
until-
time.
until-
Until the
shut up.
moment that he came out bursting out of the house.
I don't know what temperature it was. The gauge was pegged,
She was hot.
and yeah, it was fully pegged, and it did go down for probably 10 minutes or better. It was a lot. It was
Yeah.
not good.
We burned her out.
Oh,
Burned,
yeah.
burned the cobwebs
So
out of her.
she got toasty. Yeah, but it drove fine yesterday.
It ran fine.
So
Engine ran fine.
yeah,
Let's put it that way.
thank God.
Yeah.
So that was the start of the day. And then we got to the park, got off the trailer. Everything was good. Checked everything. That was good. Went out to the first obstacle there off the creek. That nice little stair step that buggies have played on a lot. It's got a nice little undercut. Really difficult to get up. Beat on it there for just a minute or two. And Destructo to lockout.
TKO. Got a video of it.
I need you to send me that. Will you put that in the Google Drive,
Yep.
please?
Let me write a note because I'll forget
Just do it right
otherwise.
now. Just put it in there.
I'm focused. I'm in the zone. I'm in the podcast zone.
So
apparently.
yeah, I destroyed a locker there, and then we went to the quarry, and I had it in 2-wheel drive. I had the other locker, the other lockout that was good. I had unlocked, and they pulled up on an obstacle in 4-wheel drive to see if, in fact, that tire wasn't turning, and it was not.
Correct.
And then I went to bump up the obstacle, and got like 3/4 of the way up it, and then slid back down. And I tried to let off the throttle and get the back tire stopped before I hit the bottom,
It all happened at the same time.
but I didn't make it.
Yeah, I think it hit the bottom and we hit the brakes and everything kind of stopped all at
Yep.
once. And boy,
Everything
she
stopped. Oh, she stopped all right. I went to go back up it and just,
Boy, she didn't start again.
oh, terrible noises. Oh, man.
Boy, you thought your fucking ass was about to get blowed out. I mean,
I thought it was a U joint, and I
Yeah.
was like, nope, that's definitely not a U joint making, or that's not a drive shaft making that noise. Like, that sounds like ring and pinion. And so then we backed it off there and went and kind of looked at it like, oh no, she's donezo. So we've been at the park at that point for an hour,
probably,
maybe.
if that.
Been at the park for an hour.
Yeah, we've probably
been on the trail
probably
for-
on the trail for
30 minutes.
yeah.
Damn.
Well, if we wouldn't have waited because we were there, and what
I
was
didn't even
that?
beat on it. Like, it wasn't even hard.
No,
I beat on it
it wasn't.
so much harder the last time.
The last trip, it was
Yeah.
so flawless. I was like, hell
Flawless.
yeah, this is going to be a great day.
Yep.
What could go
wait,
wrong?
Wait till you see the video of me on that rock. It's fully flexed out.
It was beautiful.
Fully flexed out.
Stuffage.
Second gear just wide open. Just wah, just tires just rolling.
Roasting?
Yep. No shake. No nothing. Just sitting there burning the tires off, getting them hot, and then pull up one more time and snap. Blew out that mile marker lock.
Crazy.
Yep.
Are you sure that's what it is? You
Oh, yeah.
haven't?
Yeah, we confirmed the front lockout was
Front's
the
done.
problem.
I knew about the front. I'm in the rear. Have you
the rear.
confirmed to
yeah,
the?
we haven't got there yet.
Yeah, it's not good.
Okay.
It's not an awesome thing. Is what it is.
Hey, I said it yesterday. I'll say it on the podcast so it's official.
Mm-hmm.
I would take a hard part failure like that
Mm-hmm.
to the bank.
To the bank.
Yep, because it's not, you didn't weld something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't forget to weld something,
Nope.
aka tack life.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't fabricate something incorrectly or, fuck it up, essentially. Part just broke.
Yep.
Regardless on what the cause on a bearing taking a shit, something in the rear end is
Yeah,
is
it's
fucked.
either.
So-
I'm guessing it's either locker failed,
Yep.
which I don't think is what it is. Bearing failure,
hmm
case failure in terms of like a cap, like I broke the cap for the carrier.
Yep.
The pinion seems fine.
Yep.
The pinion
Because
has
this
no
is a
slop.
9-inch.
It's a 9-inch.
For the record.
The pinion has no slop,
Yep.
but when you put pressure on the pinion, so I took the drive shaft out. So when you put pressure on the pinion and start turning, it doesn't just hard stop when you get the locker set up. You keep turning, and the tires themselves start like cambering.
Yeah. Both of
Like
them.
they start like the back tires start turning,
Yep.
not like forward and backwards, like side to side.
Yeah.
So that means the
That's-
carrier inside the housing is actually moving the carrier, which is why the ring and pinion is slipping
Yep.
because the carrier is literally just getting out of the way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oops.
That is some failure.
Yeah, kaboom.
That's what I mean, though. But it's a hard part failure. Like,
Unless
you beat on it. What the fuck? That's
You know
what's
what,
wheeling. We beat on our shit, so you're gonna have those. So I'll take that all day long.
You want the high side? Which high side do you want?
As
What
far
are my
as
options?
dollars or
It's
successful repair rate.
like successful like day. Like on the high side, I got to sit in the quarry and watch a bunch of people do cool stuff.
And there were a lot of rigs to watch.
There's a lot of podcast listeners that came up
That
and
was
said
cool.
hello. Also,
Yep. Got to meet a lot of you listeners. That was pretty neat.
I wish I would have talked to more people.
Yes, me too. I wish we would have went and walked around some more and found more
Yeah.
people. The other cool thing is we got an opportunity to tension my crawler off-road winch rope.
Oh, that was so funny because we were broke by then. So we're in the
broke.
quarry.
So
we're
it's just making crazy noises.
We're two stupid fucks out in this flat, flat ground with 80 foot of rope. And you don't realize how far 80 foot is until you're the moron that's got 80
Did
rope.
you take it all the way
80
to my
Yeah,
Cordura?
all the way out to the Cordura. So there is like 78 feet of rope
No, it
strung
was
out.
like 70 feet.
A shitload of rope strung out on flat ground.
100 foot of combination.
And then slowly winching all the way back in. We're like, people
yeah.
are stopping by like, well, what's up, bro? I'm like, just tensioning the rope. The best part
what are you guys
was
doing?
I'm outside because we talked to Rick and Fred and we're like, we'll get you some pictures of us doing
Yeah,
this process and all that. So I'm out there like Graham pictures and all this. We look like the douchiest douches ever. We're out there like taking pictures of this broke rig, popping
Brand
and
new
crackling with this brand new rope out there with 80 foot strung out on flat ground.
Love it.
Yeah, we made it look good though.
You got to spool it in sometime.
Yes,
Nailed it.
but it is nice though. Like it is wrapped nice. It
The
looks
other cool
good.
thing is in talking to Matt that afternoon, we were discussing the lockout issue, and I'm like, I'm just so tired of buying lockouts. I've had Super Winch, I've had mile markers, I've had who knows what else, several other lockouts, and I'm just like, I'm so tired of buying lockouts. The same thing breaks every time. This junk cast part in the center that slides into the hub, like the part that engages the hub itself.
Mhm.
Every time, that's what I break. I'm
Yep.
so over it. And he's like, wait a minute. I saw on Reckless Wrench Garage on YouTube, I saw him using some lockout that was different and it was supposed to be better. He's like, but I don't remember what brand it was. I was like, all right, cool. So I went home last night in my I'm so sleepy I can't stay awake, but I'm not tired enough to sleep. So I popped on YouTube, pulled up that episode. They're rebuilding the 60 in the front of Chris's Suburban, I think it is. They're rebuilding the 60 in that, and they put in Yukon lockouts. And Yukon made their lockouts different. So on a normal lockout, you have that big old chunk of thickness
Uh-huh.
that slides into the hub. Yukon built theirs to look just like a ratcheting locker.
Mm.
It looks like a chunk from a ratcheting locker, and it's splined on the outside, made from chromoly. Slides in there. You slide the other piece in, a few springs. and then the cover is literally
Yeah, it's like a like a slug cap.
It's about that thickness.
Yeah.
Maybe just slightly thicker. But the way it all goes together, when you unlock it, the spring pushes them apart. So like they cannot be together if you have it unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you lock it, it pushes that locker piece back down and it locks in. Just like on a locker in your rear end. I was looking at that like, you're not going to break that design.
Is that the idea?
I'm not going to break that
design.
I am not going to break that design. I don't have the power and I don't have the tire size. If that thing breaks, that chromoly axle's failing first. Bet.
We'll find out.
We're going to find out.
Well, it's on record now.
$300 a pair.
$300 a pair.
What's a price on a worn lockout?
100 and a half, maybe.
Okay, so it's double the price.
Whatever. I'm getting away from that style. I don't care. I'll pay the $300 and buy a Yukon.
But it's still a lockout. You still have the option to reach out there and click. Okay.
Until you click it in locked, and it's not so much a lockout anymore.
Now, is that one of those
solid
where when it fails in the locked position? I remember hearing about some lockout that did that. They said if it fails, it will always fail.
Yeah, this would
locked
be that way.
so that you have 4-wheel drive. I
That's
can't remember what
neat.
I heard, but I heard that.
It's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who made it. It was a long time ago I heard that, and I was like, that's a neat idea. So at least if it fails, you're
not
keep wheeling.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could get off the trail.
You just can't
like
unlock it to drive home or whatever.
You could get out of like a long trailhead to your house or whatever.
Cool.
Right on. So we've got a guest coming in also, not to jump ahead, but
nope, this is where
I don't want you to have to relive this too much the next day. I want to pull the Band-Aid all the way off.
We'll talk about it more after we get on with the guests and stuff and what we got coming up.
Well, I want to talk about what we've discussed on how to fix the problem.
Yeah. We'll do that after this.
Yeah,
it's about time to give him a call.
We'll close the Band-Aid back up, but we got to get on the phone with him. So,
so
who we got today?
We've got Kevin Taylor of the Outlaw Offroad Racing. Is that a series?
Yep.
Okay.
Series.
Outlaw Offroad Racing Series.
It's kind of like Southern Rock Racing Series or Pro Rock or any of those, but it's just another sanctioned race series that's out there doing awesome stuff for racers.
Pretty cool, yeah.
Because here's the thing: you want to race, you need a series.
You do.
You know,
you don't know if it's gonna be in your neighborhood.
It's not like an MLB or NASCAR or hockey. You know, you need a series. So the nice thing is, I think they've done it to a point where everybody's working together. They're promoting each other's series, I guess.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah, because here's the thing: it's working for everybody. So,
you ready to give him a call?
Let's give him a call.
Alrighty. Fuck. What'd you do?
Didn't plug my fucking phone into the fucking amp.
Gonna need that.
I'm over here giving you
got everything else. Oh God, Jesus.
Yes, everybody gets to love. Okay.
Okay, my microphone's off. Just so you guys.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Your mic's off. How's your headphones?
Sounds good.
Okay. Plenty loud.
Having a little bit of technical issue, huh?
Well, okay. So what happened was we can't seem to do one of these without screwing something up. I forgot to plug my phone into the audio recorder. So I was like, oh, damn, hang up real quick. Hopefully he doesn't call back. Plug it in, call you back. Now you're here.
Who are we talking with?
We're talking with Kevin Taylor.
Kevin, how's it going? This is Ian and Steve with Total Off-Road Podcast.
How are you guys doing today?
Well, we're doing just fine.
I'd say peachy.
Good.
Peachy.
Yeah.
We got a nice, sunny, wonderful 70-degree day here in Texas.
Yeah, we're not too
jealous.
bad. We're not too bad today. It's not 70, but
yeah. Is it windy down there?
No, not at all.
Yeah, it must be nice.
Winning.
Yeah.
You get winning. It is. Hopefully, it is springtime, and hopefully it stops raining. And especially, I hope it doesn't rain this next weekend.
Make for a good event, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yes, it does. No, but rock crawlers hate the mud.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that sentiment very well. I'm like, ooh, mud. I'll fall on a rock before I'll step in some mud. That's for sure.
Exactly.
So you have an event coming up this weekend, we hear.
Yeah, we got Outlaw is going to have a race at Copperhead up in Spavinaw, Oklahoma, northeast Oklahoma.
Right on. When is that? Is that Saturday? That's Saturday, isn't it?
This Saturday, yes, sir. Starts about probably start about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and last until hopefully we can get done by 5.
Right on. So that's kind of something coming up that I want to go to. I've been talking with Shelby a little bit about wanting to get out to one of those, and we have The unfortunate thing is scheduling is a pain in the ass. We've got 2 other events we've got to go to on the next 2 events you've got coming up. So I think Mid America, the finals, is going to be my event this year.
Well, that is going to be one awesome event. As a matter of fact, we'll have, I believe we will be doing 2 days of racing.
Sounds like a good bargain then.
And we'll have probably, I think drag racing, hill climbing. We're trying to do something for the kids because a lot of the people that come to these races never have the opportunity to even look at a rock bouncer.
Mm-hmm.
So we're hoping to be able to give the kids rides around the park a little bit, nothing extreme, but give them an opportunity and hopefully try to get more people involved in this sport.
Man, I'm going to look so bad pushing a kid out of the way to get a ride in a rock bouncer.
Just get down on your knees, walk around on your knees,
there
make
you
sure
go.
you shave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shave everything.
don't shave.
And then go, why is this kid 200 and some pounds? It's not going to end well. I'm just going to be that guy on his knees is the problem.
Well, I will
Might
say
still
this.
get you in a seat.
Yeah.
Any event that you go to and any racer that you see, if you ask them to take you up the hill, I guarantee 100% that anybody would be willing to take you up the hill.
The problem is I've got a guy to commit on the podcast to give me a ride in a buggy, and then he sold his buggy.
That happened to me last year.
Yeah, see,
First race of last year, had a gentleman come up to me and say, I want to buy that. And I was like, well, it's not for sale. And he said, you don't understand.
Proved you wrong, didn't he?
Yeah.
He proved me wrong.
It's always a number that makes it happen.
Your bluff.
Yep.
He called my bluff, and I've been building one since, and I spent 2 months in the shop, about 8 hours a day the last 2 months trying to get it ready for the first race. And on the second hill, I busted an axle shaft that wasn't supposed to break.
Huh. Strange.
Interesting how that happens.
Mm-hmm. So I've got about 15 minutes of seat time in it, and I'll have 15 minutes of seat time in it for this next race.
There you go.
Well, that's more than none, so I guess you're in the right direction.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
That's it.
So tell us a little bit more about the Outlaw Offroad Racing and kind of how that got its start and where it's kind of directional headed for the year 2020.
Yeah. The main group of us, we were originally racing with American Rock Crawling or ARC with Ty Turner. Ty put on awesome events and on average had 50 racers at his events, rock bouncers racing. And we caught wind in, I think it was the fall of 2016, that he was only going to plan on doing 3 races the following year in 2017. Wow. And there were a lot of racers that they wanted more. They wanted like 6 races. So I got a phone call from Heath Day, who Heath is instrumental in this racing and rock bouncers, fabricating. He is an unbelievable guy. He called me and said, hey, we've got to do something about this. Can you come up to Hot Springs for Fire and Ice, which they always have the Fire and Ice run New Year's up at Hot Springs. I'm normally there, and I've got a few other people that are going to be up there, and let's sit down and see if we can come up with a solution to Ty not having enough races. So New Year's Day 2017, we met, and I met a few other people up there, and he set us down and said, okay, I want to do a series, but I need y'all's help, and we're only going to do 3 races to go along with Ty's 3 races. We said, cool. And he said, we need a name. And I don't know how we came up with the name, but Outlaw, everybody agreed on Outlaw Offroad Racing. And we set up that we were going to do 3 races. And we also, one of the main things that we said was, this is going to be a race series by racers for racers. Mm-hmm. And we have stuck by that saying since. Ty, a month or 2 later, pulled out completely. And we all got back together, and we put together 5 races for that year. And that's where we started.
Wow. That's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. We had a original group of we had 3 investors and then 2 other families helping us. And by the end of 2017, we had lost a couple of the families and picked up a couple more. And since then, we have been rocking and rolling. And I can't say that everything goes super smooth, but I believe we put on a good show. I believe we have a good group of people that help us. Right now, we've got, of course, Heath Day and Carrie Day. It wouldn't be possible without those 2, especially Heath. Heath is the guy. They find the parks for us. They work with the parks. Heath sets up the hills, along with me and my chopping down trees for him and everything like that.
You got to get the stress out every once in a while, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that how that works?
Yeah. I'm just going to go cut stuff down.
Yep, we do. As a matter of fact, we get up there on Wednesdays, and Heath never likes to run the same hills. So he starts going off into the woods with tape, and he says, "Y'all follow me, cutting all these trees down."
Wow.
Boy, that could just end bad for somebody if I got in charge of that.
Now, just imagine cutting down 8-inch diameter trees on a side of a hill that you can't even walk up.
Yeah.
What do you guys do with the stumps?
Normally, what we do is chop them up and roll them down the hill and pile them up for people to get for firewood.
Oh, there you go.
Right on.
Gonna need that.
Get you a souvenir for the campground.
What's you guys' average turnout, spectator-wise, for an event? Do you know?
The first year was not good at all.
Yeah,
we probably
That's how it normally goes.
You got to get the word out first.
Yep.
Yeah, we probably averaged about 150 to 200 spectators per event the first year. In the second year, it doubled. And let's see, our first event this year, we were 890.
Wow.
And that doesn't include all the drivers, their +1, and the Outlaw crew and everybody that helps us out at the events. So I'm going to say on average at our events, they'll be right at 1,000 to 1,100 people.
Wow. Can't beat that. That's definitely going in the right direction for sure.
Mm-hmm. And at this next event at Copperhead, we're trying something totally different. The park agreed to lower the entrance price.
Ooh.
Normally, everybody charges $25 for just the day, and the park owner wants to do $15.
That's awesome.
That's a nice discount there.
Yes, exactly.
That's cool when the park will work with you like that to help lower the price to get more people to come out.
Exactly.
Because that's a great idea.
It's a win-win there.
Yeah, it's win-win exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So for somebody who's never gone to one of these, I've seen, spent years watching events and hill killing stuff on like videos, but you don't see like what else goes on at the event. And so I don't know if you guys have any other like stuff going on during it other than just like buggies going up a hill or not.
Well, our courses are a little different than your average hill killing.
Okay.
We don't do bounty stuff. We do true courses that you have to drive. Yes, they can be, if you hit it fast enough, you're going to mess up.
Yeah.
But we have the bouncers, and we do UTV now. This year we started doing UTV last year. We're doing it this year. But what we do different is we run 2 at a time.
Yeah.
And it gives the racers the feeling that they're actually racing each other, even though they're not. Yep. They've got their own lane, right. They've got their own timers, but it's a cool feeling when you're taking off the start line and you've got a buggy right next to you trying to beat you.
Yeah, it gives that true competition feeling versus running a clock. Yeah.
Yep. I was watching a race between Shelby and some young fella.
Oh, I goofed up at the race and I called him Danielle because.
Oh, boy. You don't need to admit that on the podcast.
Yeah, you don't have to admit that.
So now every time I see him, I call him Danielle.
That's funny.
But yeah, Daniel and Shelby had a little let's see, competition on, a little mean competition going on. And
yeah. Old
so
Daniel
they both
was, yeah.
met up at the race, and it was on.
Yeah, it was on. I was watching that, and old Daniel was like, I'm going to show these old guys what's up. And I don't know what happened. He went up the second hill there heading for the finish line and caught a tree, it looked like, maybe something like that. But
Trees do have a tendency to get in the way.
That's strange when you're running like 40 plus mile an hour up a hill.
They just hop right out. And go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. But yeah, that was a good. You were talking about them being courses and still being challenging, going up hills and stuff like that. And that was the first thing that came to mind was that video, because he's just running up that hill and it kind of jogged there in the hill a little bit and it caught that tree.
Yeah, well, as a racer, you're looking so far ahead of you that you don't see what's right next to you. Mm-hmm. And so, because you're looking at that next turn that you've got to make, but right. you miss that huge tree that your tire's going up right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, a huge tree that just jumped out. So,
but our racers love our format. The UTV guys love it as well. The whole day seems to run a whole lot smoother when you're running two at a time, and you're not in as much of a hurry, and you don't run out of daylight. And as we try our best, if you go to a hill killing event, you're probably looking at about 80% carnage. Mm-hmm. And 20% make it. Well, we try to do opposite. We try to have it to where 80% make it and you have 20% carnage. And that's held true since we started.
Yeah, it keeps that more of a who can do it faster versus who can spend more money and keep their parts together, kind of the way I look at it.
Exactly. But we have had our fair share of recovery at these events.
So is it I'm assuming it's a point series with all the events together to get like a final champion kind of thing?
Yeah, we do point system. We try to keep it as simple as possible, and every racer is awarded points. Our series, if some series you can drop a race, we don't allow anybody to drop a race, but we do allow you to have another driver race for your points at one race.
Okay, so it's kind of like not a drop, but kind of a drop concept, I guess.
Exactly. And you build up your points throughout the season. And at our finals race, which will be our last race of the year, we tally up the points, and then the top three get a little bit extra bonus on the podium.
Sweet.
That is awesome.
Gives you
a pretty cool way to do it.
Yeah, it gives you something to shoot for at the end of the year for making the commitment to race all the races.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've heard, ARBO, Nick Kortenberg, started up the World Championship this year.
We have not.
Yeah,
I have not.
Now there is going to be a World Championship. ARBO is keeping their own point system on every racer at every race, whether it be SRS or Pro Rock or Outlaw Series. As long as it's an official race, the racers get points, and the top 32 racers are going to be invited to the World Championship at the end of this year.
Any info on where that's at or no?
I have not heard where it's going to be yet. I'm sure it's going to be someplace pretty cool.
That's going to be cool.
Sounds like something we need to be involved with or put on the calendar.
Yeah, I think y'all need to get a hold of Nick Kortenberg, and I'm sure he'll fill you in on the specifics.
Just put that on the list of people we need to call.
Add it to the list.
That's awesome. That's gonna be cool to have.
That's gonna be wild.
World Series, yeah.
Yep.
That's gonna be wild.
Mm-hmm. You got, the top 32 racers
from every
every series.
That'd be awesome.
So I'm like, yes, done. Let's go. Pack the car up. So the finals event down there at Mid America, what kind of? I know you said you had some stuff planned. We got some exciting stuff for that one planned.
Yes. One day, I think probably the first day, we're going to do more of a drag race, a true straight drag race that you will be timed on, of course, and that'll be one run. Then the second day we will do our typical side-by-side racing up some hills. and that's going to be Sunday, I believe. And then Sunday evening, we will probably have a true bounty hill.
Right on.
That'd be cool.
And so far, I believe we've got like $5,000 on the bounty hill.
Yeah, that's pretty good considering that's in September. So I'm sure you're going to get some more on board with that as it goes on.
Yes, sir. And we're going to try to get all of our sponsors to set up booths there. I don't know. Have y'all ever been to Mid-America?
Nope.
No, definitely not.
I have heard it's an epic park. Shelby was telling us a little bit about it on his episode, and he said
this park is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Sounds like a place I need to go.
Need to put it on the calendar.
Is it unbelievable for like, could everybody go wheeling there, or is it more buggy bouncer style?
Right now, they're more set up for UTV. They have a true UTV track. They've got a series that races there. They have unbelievable cabins they have showers. They have a place for you to wash your rig. They've got a pool and a bar. And they have food trucks.
Say no more with food trucks and bar. I'm like done. Sign me up.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. With a pool too. That's even better.
Their trail system isn't too vast at the moment, but they're working on that. Hopefully Heath and I can get over there this next week and go pay a little visit with them and show them some new places to open up some trails. I think Pro Rock is going to be there in a month or two.
Yeah, I thought Pro Rock was doing an event there, but I don't know. I don't have their schedule out in front of me at the moment to really look at that. But I feel like I've wrote it down somewhere in my notes at one point in time.
Where's Mid-America at?
Oklahoma.
I'm excited about it because, like I said, I got an event on the May 2nd. May 2nd, you're down in Hooter Holler in Missouri, and then June 27th is at Flat Nasty, which is an awesome park to go to.
At least I think so.
Yeah, we were at Flat Nasty last year. I think it was in July or August, and we all went down to the river, and Heath, to cool off and everything. I couldn't even get it. The river was so cold.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm too warm-blooded for that.
Yep.
Right.
Must be nice. Yep. But so I'm definitely, I think the September 5th at Mid-America, the finals, I think that's definitely going to be on my calendar, especially because everybody you talk to keeps telling you how exciting and nice of a park and the owners and whatnot are of it down there too.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely a go-to park in the future.
Awesome. Anything else exciting that's coming up for us in the 2020 or beyond season for the Outlaw Offroad Racing Series?
We're just always trying to make it better for the racers. I think right now the main thing that we've been working on is our timing system. Mm-hmm. Let's see, I think I calculated it that we have had over 800 runs since we started.
Wow.
And we have had 3 or 4 timing issues. It calculated out to where we have a 99.7% success rate with our timers.
That's not bad at all, I wouldn't think.
But it's still not good enough, because if you're a racer and you're putting everything you have into racing a course and the timers fail you, you're not happy.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Yeah.
I was watching some rock bouncing of some sort of rock racing the other day, and I watched a guy go up there, and you just watching the run, it looked like an easy top 3, and when he got to the top, the timers had failed him. I don't remember whose series it was in, but I was like, oh, that sucks.
I believe that might have been the Pro Rock, because we were talking with Joey about that. So
I don't remember whose it was. I think Timmy Cameron was in the race, and so was Bubba Bacon. Did they run in Pro Rock?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know how much like carryover between series.
No matter what series it is, no matter what race it is, you bust out a good run, and then, and the timers don't go off. You're like, well, that sucks. Like, what do you do for a guy when that happens?
Well, we try to keep it as simple as possible. Mm-hmm. The racer gets to rerun.
Yeah.
And what just so happened at our finals last year, one of the drivers, the timers, he had a good run. Mm-hmm. Timers didn't work. Then we allowed him to rerun, and he rolled.
That's exactly
Oh.
what happened in this race.
Yes.
He ran the second one and rolled it on the first little like bump of the obstacle. I was like, that's terrible. And then they let him run again that night, into a night run, and he busted out I think it was a solid third place run on it. So it was pretty good. But yeah, that's
So as a promoter, we do everything that we can to make right by the racer.
Right.
But you don't want those timers to fail. So as a matter of fact, I've spent probably 30 to 40 minutes on the phone with the timer manufacturer this past week, just saying, hey, what can we do that's better? What can we do? So they shipped me some different style antennas to use. And even though we normally don't have a problem, we're just trying to eliminate potential problem.
Yeah, always kind of try to evolve, because I'm sure technology advancements help with that too as time goes on.
Yes.
Right.
But we've looked at different timing systems and everything like that. We pretty much have the best that's out there, but we can always try to improve.
Right.
Exactly. Yep.
Is it just a break a beam kind of deal?
Yeah, break a beam. We've looked into the transponder, the RFID tags that they put on their cars, but those just aren't accurate like you need.
Right.
Yeah, and when you're talking, decent amount of money, not to mention points, and then finals, and then now with this ARBO, top 32 invite.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot more on the line than you'd probably think.
Getting a lot more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And with the nice thing about the break a beam is if you say go and the driver's not ready, he can sit there and kind of gather his thoughts for a second. And then, it's not on until it's on.
Yep.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's nice.
Let's say that on average, the time between first place and even fifth place sometimes is less than 1 second. Combined times on two hills.
Wow. So yeah, when we're not, when we're talking about, accuracy and stuff, that's how accurate it needs to be.
Yep.
Yes, it needs to be to the thousandth, the millisecond.
You can't really have a guy sitting there holding a stopwatch when it's that close.
Yeah, that's impressively close.
Yep.
Like it was close. Yeah. Yep. I know I enjoy watching the videos that a lot of the guys put out on YouTube. The coverage of these events it's definitely entertaining to watch.
Yeah, and without the media guys, without high octane, deep patch photography, off-road lifestyle, work hard, play hard, all those guys, Black Dog, without those guys, nobody would know who we are or what we do.
Yep.
YouTube's a game changer when it comes to doing that kind of stuff, getting your media out.
Yes.
So, any more info that you can give us on where we can look up and get some more info, or find out where we can go to get the info on how to go to one of these races?
Most of the time, best place to be is Facebook. If you're listening to this, go to our Outlaw Offroad Racing Facebook page and like it. Go to Southern Rock Racing and like their page. Go to Pro Rock and like their page. You will get more information from their pages and our page than anywhere else. You can also find us at outlawracing.rocks. All our information's on there as well.
That's an awesome website.
outlawracing.rocks.
Hell yeah.
.rocks.
Awesome.
Like hell with your
And
.com was taken.
Sorry for them. We got a better option.
Right?
That's hell yeah. That sounds awesome.
I mean, .com might be more popular, but it's not cool.
It's not cool, Sam.
.rocks. I didn't know that was an option.
There's all kinds of options out there, and I saw that, and I was like, okay, I think that fits.
It fits real well.
Yeah.
And I think I don't think I know, because I ordered some. I think you guys have t-shirts and stuff getting sold out.
Yeah, we finally got our t-shirt order in, a hoodie order with beanies and everything else. Free shipping on the website till this first race, and then we'll have to start charging shipping. But we'll have all the apparel at all of our races now as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I know. I saw that free shipping, and I was like, ooh, that's speaking my language. So I think I took advantage of that.
And our shirts are pretty cool looking shirts.
Yep. They're definitely not the worst shirt I've ever seen. That's for sure. So. Awesome. Well, Kevin, we really appreciate your time, and I definitely learned a few things that I didn't know. Hopefully some other people did too.
Well, I appreciate you guys calling me and let me talk for a little. I have a tendency to ramble, so.
No, that's what this podcast is all about.
Yeah, join the club there.
Rambling is good. That's how you get to pick somebody's brain and learn things that you didn't know you wanted to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I do have one else thing I need to say.
Yep.
Mhm.
Hey, anybody that is listening to this podcast and wants to race, come race with us. It's fun, but there is one thing, and you can ask Shelby this as well. Our series requires window nets.
Mm-hmm.
Most series just requires arm restraints, but you can wear your arm restraints, but you have to have a window net as well.
I don't,
good.
you know, the worst part with that is you kind of want to say, go ahead and argue against that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm sure there are, you know, costs or whatever, but it's safety. Like, come on.
It's safety.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that we have seen in the past is, and I've done it also. The racers will get in their car and not buckle their arm restraints
Mm-hmm.
because they are restrictive. So we decided that we're going to solve that and just say we require window nets.
That works.
Yeah. Do you require
Yeah.
arm restraints and window nets or just one or the other? Or, well, not one or
No,
the other, but just window
Just
nets?
window nets.
Okay.
Just one that's-
So that kind
So
of
you can run
plays
with
to,
no-
yeah, it plays to that. People who think it's restrictive,
I didn't
you've not
even-
required that.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
even know arm restraints was a thing.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
News to
Arm
me.
restraints go around your arms, and they're supposed to keep your arms, they hook to your harness, and they're supposed to keep your arms inside the vehicle. But a lot of the racers will unhook them as soon as they get to the start line.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you want that control because it's
Yep.
not, you know, you're not taking, you know, smooth corners around a couple mile like track or anything. You're turning left, turning right real fast. So,
Exactly.
I mean, how
And-
often are you looking out your side window when you're going up a course?
yeah.
Well, that's one of the big drawbacks of what the racers say. Well, it's you can't see. But after they race with a window net, they
Yeah.
love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll see guys that are racing the other series that have window nets because that's what we require, and they like them.
Mhm.
That's what they want to use now.
Cool. That's awesome.
Nobody's going to argue with too much safety, I don't think. I mean, that's the thing.
As long as they can still do what they want to do.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, I hopefully we'll get some more people out to your events. I know I'm hopefully planning on be out there at Mid America, if life cooperates, I guess. And we'll have to get you back on here maybe later through the season and kind of hype that up a little bit more and see what the points look like going into that event.
Yeah. And what y'all need to plan on doing a live podcast from our finals.
Could be done.
You gonna fly us down there? For
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll have to discuss sponsorship opportunities. It's all the dollar. It's all about dollar.
It's all about the dollars. And I'll tell you what, if you want to make money, don't do a race series.
Well, don't know podcast either, but you know,
We'll
it's
just
all
have a
one the
good
same.
time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, Kevin, we really appreciate your time. And like I said, we'll have to have you back on here closer towards the end of the season and hype up this finals event and get some more info going into that.
That sounds wonderful, guys. I appreciate y'all letting me talk.
Perfect. All right, Kevin, thank you again.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Kevin. See you.
What a nice guy.
Yeah, he was. Hold on a second. I'm on Instagram right now trying to figure out who I'm going to contact about getting a ride in one of those.
Yeah, no kidding. My guy, my guy, Shelby,
Nope,
Shout
not getting
out.
a ride in that guy.
screwed me over.
Talks too much shit about me, so I'm out.
Yeah, well, at least he didn't screw you on your buggy ride.
This is true. This is true.
But
You
yeah,
might have another buggy before too long. You don't know.
know.
Sold one, so he.
This
has
is
fundage, maybe.
intentional silence.
Oh, you know things.
I can say nothing. I don't know what I'm allowed. It's one of those like I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with my words here now. So it's like
Either way,
I cannot confirm nor deny anything.
Either
I
way.
may or may not know anything.
if you and I get to go down to an event, I probably will try to get a ride with somebody.
I'm
'Cause
right.
that'd be
I'm
wild.
gonna drive.
I want to
it.
feel. I want to see what it feels like to be in one that's built like that.
I've only been in a full blown like tube chassis rock bouncer, like not a tube chassis rig or whatever.
yeah,
A
bouncer.
rock bouncer.
Mhm.
One time,
Where?
caught air out of a creek bed, and it was like jumping into a ball pit of like Serta pillow
Is that smooth?
material. It was fucking gorgeous. Yep. I
It just
say
soaks
no
it up
more.
that well.
It
You don't
was
even hardly feel it.
marvelous.
Where was this at?
It was a while back. Liar. No, true story. It was at a private property event.
Either way, talking to Kevin, that was awesome. He's super nice.
Super nice guy, which is awesome because I feel like leadership's from the top down. So if your top guys are nice, it's only going to follow through and people are going to want to do stuff with you, which is why they're growing. Yep. You heard it there. It goes from what he said, they had like 150 people to like 1,000. So no shit, they're doing something right.
Yep.
It's not this, it's the same content. So awesome. It's the event that's growing. And I'm bummed because I can't go. The 2 closest events out of their season to us were booked.
We're booked?
The podcast is booked.
What?
We got events going on those days.
Oh.
One is Axial Fest.
Well,
and I don't remember what the other one was. The other one might be
Tolono's
RC Fest. I don't remember. Yeah, it's a bum diddly because I'm like, how can I get out of this? I'm like, damn, I can't.
The same weekend as RC Fest is Jessica's the wife's work trip.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, it's this date. I'm like, well, can't make that. Thank God it's in Indianapolis, so it's not like it's a must attend.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's a Nashville trip or one of their Chicago trip. Like the good ones. Those are good cities to go to. Indianapolis ain't bad, but like it's a weekend in Indy. What is it really?
It's closer to you, so it's less exciting.
Go do it. Yeah, I could go do it.
It's not like Nashville where it's a drive and you make a weekend of it.
We're booked.
So that's why my only option is to hit up the Mid-America Finals in September. So I'm going to make that happen.
So you and I are going to that?
Yeah. I want to go. We'll see.
Yeah. In September?
Yeah.
The kid will be old enough by then, I think. I hope.
You still won't be able to leave it home by itself.
Well, the wife can stay there.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. That's my only option at the moment because the other 2 are booked. But they got a race coming up, like I said, at Copperhead Off-Road this weekend. So check it out.
If you guys are close by that, go check it out.
Yep.
And he said it was a discount?
Discounted. That's crazy. Awesome. They dropped it, like $10?
Yeah.
I think is what he said.
$15 to get in? Dude,
you can't beat that. And I guarantee you, like you said, if you could go, let me just put it out there in stupid people terms from people like myself. You can, for $15, you can go watch all kinds of awesome shit, probably eat some badass food, talk to any of these people that are like famous, air quote, famous people on the internet with these rock bouncers. And oh, by the way, put your kid in a rock bouncer and let them bomb around. Like, I'm a full ass grown man and I would be like a fucking giddy kid in a chocolate factory or something. Like, that would be so exciting to me. Let alone if you were, 8, 10, 12 years old, whatever. Right. That is, oh my God, that is probably the coolest
We went complete
shit ever.
Opposite directions. You went 10 and up. I went 8 and down.
Yeah. I don't know. What age do you want to safely put your kid with a stranger in a rock bouncer? I don't know.
4.
Not my call. Newborn.
If you're into the scene, doesn't matter.
Yeah. But that opportunity for $15. That's awesome.
That is cool.
So if you're remotely close, hit that up because it sounds awesome. I'm jelly.
Last call.
We are drinking. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
It is from Illuminated Brewworks, which is out of Chicago, which is mildly local for us. It is called Brony. Brony. The can is so artsy. It's awesome.
It's super bright.
It's a 7% ABV. It is a double dry hopped double IPA.
Double dry hopped and double IPA?
Double dry hopped double IPA.
Wow.
It's a lot of doubles. And before we try this bad boy, I want to, the can art for one is awesome. And the best line off the can is, you can share it with your pony, Brony, but you probably have to help them drink it because ponies don't have hands. All of their beers is on the website and they all have a catchy little thing like that. Nice. And I think that stuff's fun.
Yeah.
Anybody can put
I love how bright that can is.
It's awesome. Neon fluorescent color. She's a beaut.
Bright pink.
So Mike, you've had this before. You're the one that brought this.
It's true.
You're the inspirational.
It was mighty fine, and it is an IPA.
Looks like an IPA.
Smells good.
It's hard to find a bad double IPA,
Citrusy.
but this one's just a little different. It definitely smells citrusy.
You do get the citrus.
You get a little bit, at least I get a little bit of strawberry.
Yeah, on the can it does say strawberry. Strawberry and orchard fruits.
Exactly. It's not just citrus. A lot of IPAs, you're
I think
just
they use
it's all
hops.
citrus all day.
Yeah.
But this one, on the finish, just a little bit of fruitiness.
There's
which is kind of nice, a little different.
But it's not like strong fruitiness.
Exactly.
No.
Very mild.
Yeah. It has that IPA hoppiness.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
I think
hazy
finishes it-
IPA,
It's definitely a hazy IPA.
so it's super smooth.
Mm-hmm.
And
Here's the thing with
pretty
IPAs.
delicious.
I challenge everybody to drink an IPA or 7 because IPA is not a one size fits all.
Nope.
definitely not.
You
Some are
can
crazy.
use citrus hops, like a
Mhm.
citra hop, which is going to give you that more.
Mosaics.
That's what this has
Yep.
got. This has got citra hops in it, which is
Mhm.
why you get that fruity
See it,
floral.
the citry.
A lot of people's complaint when they drink an IPA is, "Oh, I'm chewing on grass."
Grassy, yeah.
That's because they use a different kind of hop.
Is it the mosaic hops that have the grassy?
I don't know. I don't
Galaxy,
recall.
There's so many different hops.
All I know is I personally tend to stick more towards the
Citra,
citra hops just because I like that fruity
Mhm.
flavor versus that real dry
'Cause you're
kind
a
of
fruity.
grass. I like a strawberry margarita. I'm just saying.
Hey, no, I'm with you right there. I like the same.
So I
thing.
like those citra hops where you get that more less floral, more fruit.
Yeah,
flavors.
Yeah, I'm not a big in the floral
Is
department.
my personal.
The floral turns me
forte.
off.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get
this
that.
is
Like,
not
I
very
need
that
floral. This one's
flowery,
not.
like my grandma's
Yeah.
perfume
Chewing
taste in
on
my
it.
mouth.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm out.
Yep.
I know what you mean.
Like somebody else can have this one,
Yep. But that's a good beer.
but this one's not that.
Funny
Appreciate you.
thing. Oh
Appreciate
yeah,
you.
absolutely. It's
Yeah.
no problem, guys. I'm glad to share something that I enjoy. Something nice about double IPAs.
Did we mention that Mike brought it?
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I brought
Something-
the beer. Yay me!
Thanks,
Go
Mike.
me.
Oh, we said that earlier.
I think I said that. If not, we
Somewhere.
do appreciate it.
Double IPAs are a little smoother. They're a little bit more alcoholic, but they're a
Yes.
little smoother.
So-
So it's a little
Definitely
bit
has-
more fun to drink once you're done.
Yeah.
So here, let me ask you this, and you may not know, and that's fine. I'm just curious. Does a double IPA mean it's higher alcohol content automatically? Like, is that a hard line guarantee?
I want to say, okay, I don't know this for sure, so I can't say yes, but
Mhm.
I have never seen one that wasn't.
Okay. I wonder if it's that double.
I think
Was it
that's
just like a double filtered process?
Man, I wish that I knew the reason what a double actually meant, but we drink a lot of double things,
Yeah.
double stouts, double IPAs, double whatever, and they're always more
Double
alcoholic.
McGum.
Yeah. 2x the mint, bro.
But,
That took a turn.
But what makes it a double?
I don't know.
really
I don't know. I
Can look
wish
it
I
up.
did. I
Get your
should look
Googles
it up.
out.
I do know, I can tell you this, that when you double filter liquor,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes higher proof because you're removing more impurities, I
Oh,
believe
really?
is the thing. So you're getting a more pure alcohol, which is
Mhm.
why it's higher content. So when you get a double distilled like moonshine or whatever, it's double, well, not necessarily double, but it's extremely higher alcohol content because it's removing the purities. So you're getting that pure alcohol, I believe.
Gotcha.
I say all this as an unprofessional person. So.
Definitely. We know more about something else than beer.
Yeah.
But we do like beer.
Do like beer.
You like beer?
Yeah.
Okay. On to the next thing.
What's coming up? So here's the thing. I'm going to get mine out of the way because mine's quick and yours
Yes.
is going to be painful to talk about.
Okay.
I found
Yes.
2 things. Oh, I forgot about the second thing I didn't have on my show notes.
Mhm.
Last week, I ranted about my piece of shit chop saw that left
Oh,
me
yeah.
hanging for the first time in my ever loving career.
What'd you come up with?
Monday, called them. Monday, shipped me a new screw and a new blade.
When did it get here?
But it hasn't showed up yet, I don't think.
Okay.
I got
we're
it shipped
7
to
days out.
the shop.
Oh.
So,
Again.
I
With the shipping to the shop.
somebody
It was probably in the mailbox on Friday.
probably has, so I'm not going to call them out for that. But it was literally like I placed the order, was late Monday, so it probably shipped Tuesday, and I don't know where. I think they're out of Washington or something. Honestly, I
Okay,
don't
so
know.
it's gotta go somewhere.
But yeah, called them and they're like, send me a picture of whatever the screw was for, and I'll get it for you. And they're like super nice.
Yeah.
Called me right back, and he's like, I'm only calling you back because you said something about wanting to order a blade too, and I wanted to ship them both at the same time. If you don't want to order the blade, I'm fine. I just wanted to double check.
I
And
saw
I'm
your
like,
blade. I hope you ordered one.
Yeah, I did order one.
You said teeth were missing. I thought you meant like the carbide tip.
No,
No, the tooth is
chunked off.
gone.
yeah, but that blade
That's
has
bad.
seen hundreds of feet of
Yeah,
tube
you were saying
through it.
hundreds of feet. Of
And
tube.
that's like $100 blade. So they're
Was
not
that a
cheap.
Diablo blade? Who's blade
No,
is it?
it's a
their-
Quest, I
Oh,
think.
it's a Quest.
Yeah, it's their brand of blade.
I saw it was red and didn't really pay attention. Well,
The
most of
Diablo's a little bit more expensive.
Oh yeah. Well, they're supposed to be good.
They are. This one, though, I
Yeah.
have no complaints for it.
There you go.
So anyway, sawblade.com, took care of my shit. No, they're not a paid partner. They're just literally an awesome company that sells a bad ass carbide chop saw.
There you go.
So that's taken care of. because I kind of blasted him. I felt a little bad about it. I was like, this thing's a piece of shit, but
It's not.
it's not.
It's
They
just
literally were like,
user
here's a
error.
free screw.
Here's a free
Um,
screw. Thanks for playing.
Second rant from last week. I figure if
Okay.
I just don't rant, I don't have to come back to this. I found a blasting company that's going to do my cab, my fenders, and my doors for a really good price.
Okay.
Like literally, I called the guy. I was like, this is what I got. Didn't tell him it doesn't have floor or anything because I
Yep.
figure that's like details we'll talk about later. But I was like, I just need a quote on an S10 cab, stripped cab,
Yep.
doors, front fenders, hood. He's like, nope, don't need the hood done. He said, all right, cool. Gave me a price, and that was like less than a minute. Perfect.
Huh. So hard to do.
It was really hard to get.
Amazing.
It's amazing when people answer the phone and do their business correctly, how you're like, fuck yeah, I'll bring it to you.
Right.
2-week turnaround time on that. So my deadline of not March 2nd, May 2nd, self-imposed
May 2nd.
deadline is coming up.
Self-imposed. You want it running driving?
yeah.
Or
Yeah, I want to drive. Wow, drive it there. I want to drive it from the trailer to the show.
into the show?
Yep.
Okay. May 2nd.
It's gonna be hard,
Dude,
real fucking hard.
I'm going to miss that day.
That's you might be shitting out of. Well, you're not gonna do shit that day.
I'm going
mean-
to stand there and hold a hand.
Never
Yep.
been there, but I'm going to assume that you're just kind of going to be the guy in the corner that, like, if they need you to run somewhere, you're like, I got that. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know what you're going to do,
I'm
but
going to get her a Jimmy
um,
John's.
yeah,
She's been wanting a sandwich ever since she got pregnant. You're not supposed to eat lunch meat when you're pregnant.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
about
that.
getting sick.
Hmm.
And a hot dog. I've got a whole list in my phone of like what she wants.
That's
to
like
eat.
when you're sick, but you're sick for like 9 months. You're
That'd
like,
be terrible.
yes.
Could you imagine?
No, I can't because
you
I'm
can't eat
nope.
your favorite thing
Yeah.
for
Hold
9
on.
months.
You can't eat lunch meat, or you can't eat like sliced meat. So
Like
you get some really
cold
high
lunch
quality meat and just
Yeah.
slice it yourself, and then
You
it technically
could.
is lunch meat, right?
No, it has to. It's something to do with some bacteria that can grow on it, which normally would not affect anybody. But when you're pregnant, apparently, I don't know. Either way,
He didn't read the book. She did, and he's
Yep.
just been
Just saying.
informed.
yeah, she read the Googles. I didn't,
Huh.
and all I know is that she's like, I'm not going to test the waters, and end up sick. I'm like, I don't blame you.
Dude, this so plays into that first time parent thing
Right.
because, like, anybody who's had kids is listening to this. They're like,
Whatever.
the second time, dude, we'd be mowing down Jimmy John's and hot dogs for days. Like, we don't give a shit, you know? But that first time parent, you're like, I will not eat cold
Maybe not.
cuts. Maybe kind of no.
So yeah, it's just
Yep.
the fact that she could get sick off of it,
Yeah.
and she doesn't want to be sick. So
Makes sense.
yep, I always just eat it later.
Yeah, that's literally like when you're sick and you watch all these food commercials. Like somebody comes out with this new burger and you're like, go fuck yourself. Somebody write down that I'm eating one of those when I get done with this food poisoning.
The only time you see those commercials is when you're sick. On the
Yeah,
couch.
otherwise you're like, get that damn Hardee's commercial off my TV and get me back to my TV show. But when you're sick, you're like, oh,
I want it. I want it in my
all
mouth.
that. And then you're like, no, I don't need any of that. So that's my two things that I've got for last call. I've got my blasting company done, but I got a 2-week turnaround, so I can have to bust my ass to get some sheet metal done. And that's all I got. How you going to fix your ass?
I don't know.
And I meant that as like a rear end pun, but it more kind of sounded like I was being a
Fix your
dick. So
ass.
either way, I'm going to take it.
I don't know what I'm gonna do yet.
That is a good beer.
I am going to. So on the ride home from there, you were saying, don't take anything apart. Save up the money. Buy every piece that you want to replace, regardless of what's broken, and just one and done it.
Okay. Precursor for the listeners that were
Yes.
not in the truck on the ride
Something's
home.
broke in the
Something
9-inch.
is a recap real quick.
Yes.
9-inch fucked.
Yes.
9-inch nodular rear end.
Yep.
So you're going to replace the center chunk.
Possibly.
In my opinion, was why we've come to this.
Mhm.
You want to upgrade to 35 spline rear end axles.
Just think about it. Yep.
It was kind of on the possible to do list. It's not a bad upgrade.
So okay, I was gonna buy chromos anyway coming up,
Mhm.
and now I have an opportunity if I destructoed anything.
In the center section.
Yep. That I have the possibility that I could just go ahead and just jump to a 35 spline
Yep.
and have a
Bulletproof.
more or less bulletproof 9-inch.
Yeah. So that's what I'm
So-
saying.
Yep.
Just order the whole, because the best worst thing, we'll call it worst for
Best
obvious
worst.
reasons here in
Yeah.
a minute. The best worst thing is you can just buy the center section.
Yeah.
It sounds easy, it's just expensive.
Right.
So you could just buy,
It's way more
you could
expensive than I
buy
thought it was gonna
35
be.
spline axle shafts. You could buy the entire center section.
Yep.
Spooled,
Done.
no more locker problems, and
Yes.
literally in an afternoon you
Could put it all
pull it
together.
apart, put it back together, and you're back on the trail. Because the front,
Done. Yep.
locker, or not the locker, the mile marker
If only money wasn't an object.
The lockout, yeah.
If money wasn't an object,
Well,
I'd put an e-locker in it.
Here's the thing.
But
easy, expensive. Not easy, cheap. That's generally
That's
how
it.
it works. So do you want it fast, quick, or cheap? You pick two and you fuck off on the third one. So that was where we were at. So now
I kind of want to clear this up for listeners.
You've got more info.
I want to clear this up for listeners. Part of what's going on here is I've got a 95 Jeep Cherokee. Most of you know that. It's a 9 and 44 combo, 513 gears, Grizzly locker rear, Detroit locker front. The Grizzly I blew up about 4 years ago, broke something internally, shipped it off to Randy's Ring and Pinion. They fixed it. It's a Yukon Grizzly. They fixed it, shipped it back to me, half the price of a new one. Good to go. It was outside of its warranty window. It was like 5 or 6 years old at that time. That's why Ian is referencing no more locker issues.
Yeah, you've got a bad taste for lockers,
I've got
which
a bad
everybody
taste.
gets certain for
Yeah,
no
if you
particular
break 'em.
reason. You just
Yeah.
had two that fail, and you're just like, I'm done with it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I am not going to say that this one failed. It might be perfectly fine. I
Yeah,
might
we
pull
just-
it out of
we
there,
don't even know.
and it might be I might have destructed a bearing. I have no idea.
But I think you're going to trash everything that's in
I
there.
think we might have
because
destroyed the Ring and Pinion
Yeah.
in the process.
You
of,
didn't do it any
of
favors.
just giving zero fucks and driving around the Badlands.
Dude, everybody's face when we be driving, they're like, what's up? They're like, are you so stupid that you don't know your shit's fucked? Like, they're do we have to tell this idiot that his rear end is fucked, or does he know about it? And because we'd act like we didn't know anything, we're like, what's up? What's going on? This motherfucker's been broke for 3 hours, so we're just like, whatever. But
That was great.
yeah.
Got to get it back to the trailer somehow.
So that's one thing. The other thing is I was looking at prices last night for 35 spline spools and all this stuff.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh God,
You're going to build a buggy.
I'm well over $1,000
Yeah.
just to get me a center section and some axle shafts.
Oh, with shafts.
Well, it might be $1,000 just for a center section with a spool. I paid $1,056 for that one with the locker.
How many years ago was that?
What, 10?
Well, let's see. Here, old timer. We got this thing. It's called inflation. It's a
I
bitch.
don't like it. Either way, I need to figure out. I've got to figure out that situation,
Yep.
which I'm going to call Randy's tomorrow.
Yep.
Because Yukon makes some HD housing, and I kind of want to do some research on that
Okay.
for the 9-inch.
Yep.
I'm going to get a quote from them for a 513 complete nodular housing, already assembled, bearings and all, with a spool, 35 spline.
Yep.
I'm going to get that quote. And I'm going to get a quote also while I'm talking to him about 35 spline
Shafts.
chromo shafts.
Yep.
The other option is Matt gave me a 14 bolt from Derek. I have a 14 bolt sitting there. For $89, I can go to Barnes and buy a set of.
But it's bullshit. $89. Bullshit.
What do you mean? Bullshit.
You got to buy gears for it.
Hold on. For $89, I can go buy a set of U-bolt eliminators and weld them to the top of that axle.
Uh-huh.
Then I can spend $700 and put gears in it.
Uh-huh.
If my math is correct, that's still cheaper than $1,000.
Yeah, I mean it is, but then you
14 bolt.
I think you just open a can of worms though.
Well, then your
14
front
bolt.
axle is 5 lug and your rear is 8.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares? You don't
And
care.
leads into the next thing.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I went next door
Snowball
today to
effect.
talk to James about the outers for the 60.
Yep.
They're all sitting there on the shelf
Yep.
doing nothing.
Yep.
We're looking at them.
Just give them to me.
We're looking at them. They
Uh-huh.
look great. I'm like, cool. So they took it all apart. So you got the knuckles, the spindles, the hubs, brakes. It's all brand new, everything.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, something dawns on me. I see something that looks very, very odd. It's a ball joint hanging out of the knuckle.
It's a 44.
It's a 60.
It's a 60.
It's a ball joint 60.
It's a 9760.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
1997 60 was a ball joint 60.
Uh-huh.
There goes all those plans.
Uh-huh.
So I don't have outers for the 60 that I have. The
You
60
could just
housing.
run ball joint eliminators. Write it down, look it up.
Ball joint eliminators for a ball joint style 60 to put on my kingpin housing.
Mhm.
That's a thing.
I believe so.
It's not a thing.
I don't know. I just
I think it's not a thing.
Ian's over here
I
making
just
things
made
up.
that shit
He's
up.
like, oh, you can get them for the 05 plus Super Duty.
I don't really know. Somebody's
Got
got to
the
come up
notes.
with some shit.
Either way,
Either
that was the 60
yeah.
build thing.
okay.
But so that's the question. Like,
I don't know.
do I buy half my tons now, or do I spend the money on the 9-inch?
Here's my
Figure that
answer
out.
for that. Here's my easy answer. That
Get rid of
9-inch.
it. Yes.
How much is that 9-inch worth if I'm wanting to sell it if it's got 35 splines,
Not a
a
G.
spool? Bullshit. You can't sell that for with a 35 spline 9-inch with 513s ready to bolt in somebody's rig for $1,000.
Probably not.
I don't know.
But you can go wheeling with it for $1,000. So even if you
Fact.
sell it for $800, $700, I don't
Yeah.
give a shit. It's worth a couple $100.
Yeah.
I guess the
Done.
question is,
Fix
is
it
that
and go
front
wheel it.
axle,
I gotta get a quiet. Huh?
is that front axle fine?
Yeah, it's
or
got
are you going to
chrome-
upgrade to a 1-ton?
got
And
chromoly
that's
shafts
how
at
I
some
would make
point.
my decision. Am I going to fix the 9 or am I going to put a 14?
You're talking about, yeah. The biggest thing is everything rides right now on I'm going to pull the diff apart. I am going to pull it apart
Yeah, just to see what's up.
to find out. Because if I didn't tear the housing up at all, that's $500 I don't have to spend.
Yeah.
So
Then
I'm
you
gonna
just
do
need
that.
gears, ring and pinion, and a carrier.
Ring and pinion and a spool.
Well, no shit,
Done.
gears, ring and pinion, dumbass. Yeah, I get that. I
Yeah.
fucked up.
Whatever. That's what I'm saying.
But yeah.
Gears and spool and done.
Yeah, and and then just buy 35 spline axle shafts while you're
Mhm.
in there and just
Yep.
make it a
I just call it Randy's and tell
That's
him
what
to
I
send
would do because it gets you on the trail faster
Mm-hmm.
and it gets you back wheeling faster.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, then you can go wheeling sooner and you can recoup your money.
I'm going to be really upset if I put 35 spline in there and break it again.
You won't.
I'd be mad too. What
Be
is there to break?
upset.
It's a spool. It's 35.
It's a
It's
spool.
nothing.
You won't.
Yeah, another bearing.
Nah.
A Timken. Buy a Timken and it'll be
They're
fine.
all Timken.
Oh my God.
I only run Timken.
Put some heavy gear lube in there. You're good to go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Send it.
Some heavy gear lube.
All right.
120
anyway,
weight.
They're kicking us out.
Okay.
Where can they find more info about the podcast?
Wait, nope. They're not kicking us out yet. So close. We got one new podcast, and I have to touch on it because last week we messed up. Ian's about to put a gun to his head.
That was supposed to be a quick fucking like, hey, let's cut
It
this
was.
intro off. Now we're gonna be yeah.
From Mike Austin of Mike and Max podcast. It says, fantastic start, dudes. Okay, I'm glad you called me out. I honestly thought I did leave a review already. So here it is. Great show. Jake Berkey episode is one of my favorites. When the crawler guy starts laughing on the last episode, on episode 12, I laughed pretty good. Keep it up and looking forward to seeing more. So,
Appreciate you.
yup.
Been a hell of a help to us getting us started and putting us where we are today.
He appreciates it.
Still blame you for fucking up our lives with this
No.
podcast thing.
I have to touch on this. This is part of what leads into this is if you have an Android phone, you can't just leave a podcast review.
No,
No.
it's because your Android sucks. Come
Well,
to my
I don't want
iPhone.
Apple. No. So if you guys got Androids, you want to leave a review on the podcast, tell us how we're doing. I really don't care about the ratings so much as just kind of want to hear from you guys, want to meet new people. Shoot us an email
Or a message on Instagram
or a message on Instagram.
or Facebook.
The email is totaloffroadpodcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
Shoot us an email.
Okay.
And you can find out more information from us on Instagram at Total Offroad Podcast or Total_Offroad_podcast. Also the same on TikTok. My personal page is Steve at low_KEE_XJ. Ian's is offroad_Ian. Go check out Offroad.
We've been drinking too much. They shut us
Jesus.
down. Check out Outlaw Offroad Series at outlawoffroad.rocks because that's the best.
Outlaw Racing.
Nah, I fucked up too.
.rocks.
See, we're drunk or shit. We're not even drunk. We're just going to claim we are.
outlawracing.rocks. Go check those guys out. And the one last thing is www.totaloffroadpodcast.com.
More info coming next week. But it's live.
And we'll catch you on the trail.